Hi guys, today this video is gonna be very odd, and I feel like I just did a video like this and a lot of people really enjoyed it. I don't want to say enjoyed it, but like a lot of people felt what I wanted to get across. In that video was my anxiety update, and that was kind of just how I'm doing at the moment, and like I hadn't done one in a while, so I thought I would. That video had led me to write a blog post, and now I had filmed the video before I wrote the blog post, so I didn't get a chance to like mention the blog post in the video to like direct you guys there, and I'm doing that right now. I have a lot of anxiety videos on my channel, but I had never really talked about it the way I did in that blog post ever. I just feel like for me, because I am a writer and I went to school for writing and that's like what my main thing is, and I just feel like writing for me is an easier way to get my emotions out rather than talking. And so some people actually commented on that blog post and said, out of all the anxiety videos I've seen of yours, like I've never really understood what it was like until you put it into words in this post, and it like, helped me understand what you're going through and what other people go through, and people who do suffer with anxiety read that and thought, oh my god, like wow, that's so like relatable. And so I definitely just wanted to point you guys over there. I know that it's a long post, it's over 4,000 words, so right now some of you might be like, hell no. But I do think it's easy to read. It's very, like how I always write, if you've read my blog post before, very conversational, just like, it was kind of like a journal entry, like if you had a bad day and you just wrote it all down, that's kind of how it was. But I wanted to direct you guys over there because I'd never really talked about it like that before. And I guess this is kind of like the video version of that post if I can get it across that way. I probably won't be able to, just because obviously when you talk it's not as organized as when you write, at least not for me. But I did just want to get some stuff out there, I guess, especially face to face, you know, computer to face. I feel like I've talked about what gives me anxiety. I've talked about, you know, what I do to help overcome it or deal with it, my experience and stuff like that. And like I feel like I've never really put all my opinions about it into words and like how I actually feel. And that's kind of what I did in that post, and I kind of wrote out how anxiety feels to me versus how it probably feels with someone who's never had anxiety, how it looks from the outside and all stuff like that. And I don't know, I guess I just wanted to talk about it. So here goes. First of all, I just want to like address the fact that people think anxiety is a trend. Now I didn't touch on this so much in that blog post because that wasn't really what that was about, but it's crazy that people think that. Like, it's not a trend. Honestly, I think that's sick to say that. That's like saying another health problem is a trend. Like, no, it might be more popular than it ever was, but that doesn't mean it's a trend. Like, it's not something you want. You don't just say, oh, I have anxiety because, you know, Zoella does. Like, that's not what people are doing. And you know what, maybe YouTubers are. Maybe some YouTubers are lying. Like, maybe they are. Ooh. But that's not, it's not, though. Like, it's just, I think that maybe now more than ever, everyone's like, why does everyone have anxiety? Like, every time I see someone do a video on anxiety in the comments, someone's like, why does everyone think they have anxiety? And that's because everyone, to some extent, probably does. If you get nervous doing anything, like going on a date, having the first day of school, going on an interview, if you're afraid of heights, anything like that, that fear is anxiety. And whether you have an anxiety issue and a problem where you go to therapy for it and you need medicine or anything like that, or whether you literally get nervous, like if you get nervous getting up in front of people and speaking, that's not rational. You know what I mean? Like, you know nothing's gonna happen. You know what's the worst that can happen. You're gonna run off stage. Like, nothing is actually gonna hurt you, and you're scared anyway. You know, if you're scared of heights, you know that you're on top of a building on the roof. You're not gonna fall off. You're totally safe, but you still are afraid. You know that when you go on an interview, yeah, you might not get the job, but the person's not gonna stab you. You're safe. You know, and being claustrophobic, you're not going to be stuck in that small area forever. You know, people, it's not rational. And even those little smaller fears that people have are a form of anxiety. So I think that maybe some people watch people who talk about anxiety or think, oh my god, you know what, I do feel like that sometimes, and think they have an anxiety disorder. And they don't, but they do get anxious. And there's a difference. I'd say if you have an anxiety disorder, it's really affecting your daily routine, your daily life. And that's what I suffer with, where my anxiety literally halts me from doing things and prevents me from going places. I don't just feel anxious and go there and it's fine. I feel anxious and cancel, and I feel anxious and don't do things, and I feel anxious and feel sick and get migraines and want to throw up and get shaky and feel like I cannot function as a normal person. And that's where the line is drawn. So I feel like some people definitely maybe don't fully understand what anxiety is, so they think they have it when they don't. I don't think they're lying or trying to be like on trend. I think they're taking small emotions that they have or a small amount of the emotions they have, and kind of looking at what other people say and transferring those onto themselves, if that makes sense. And I also think that more people are talking about it now. Maybe when I was in high school, I don't think that many people talked about anxiety. Once I got into college, I started seeing YouTube videos and books, and like, it was more known. People talked about it more. People talk about mental illness so much more than they ever did back when my parents were kids. If my mom was stressful in college, or like had a stressful day or something, or like was really stressed out and like felt anxious, she might have thought, oh, I feel nervous. But she wouldn't have thought, oh my god, I have an anxiety problem, I need to go to a therapist. You know what I mean? If that makes sense? That's why nowadays so many people are coming out and saying, I have anxiety, because they probably do. And like, I'm sure your parents have, and I'm sure a lot of people have it, and they just aren't aware. They're not educated to know that that is what it is, you know? And I think that's why it seems like a trend, just because more people are talking about it. It's more spoken about now. It's not as like taboo to talk about mental illness. And I think it's sick that people are saying that's a trend, because if it's a trend, then fear is a trend. Being completely irrational is a trend. Like, that's so weird that people would say that, at least for me. For me, when I get anxiety, it can be different. It can be caused by different things. For the most part, I know when it's gonna happen. Like, I know, okay, these things trigger my anxiety, so I'm gonna avoid them. And I hate that. I don't wanna have to avoid going for long drives by myself. I don't wanna avoid seeing people because I'm afraid I'm gonna be anxious. I don't wanna avoid taking on responsibility because it makes me anxious. Like, that's so dumb, and it's irrational, and I hate it, and I know I have to deal with it and face it and everything, but like, it still makes me pissed. Like, I used to just be scared of it and confused, and once I discovered it, I was trying to be stronger than it and like face it and really let myself take over my own body and not let the anxiety control me. That's not what is happening. So although that was how it was at one point, that's not how it is anymore. And that's kind of what I wanted to get across in this video, was just that like, it really sucks, and like, it feels like you're stuck in your own mind, but you can't get out, and like, you're the prisoner and the warden of your own mind, and it's weird and like not fun. And I feel like I'm really doing a bad job of explaining this, so I do want to just direct you to that blog post so you can go see that. It's just scary knowing that like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to face it, if I'm going to have this for the rest of my life. And I feel like I touched on all this in the blog post, and I don't want to like keep re-saying what I've already said, so I don't want to like push this, and I don't want to cry or anything, because I'm not sad. I'm not like afraid. I mean, I'm afraid. My anxiety means I'm afraid, but I'm more just like pissed off and like angry about it. I just want it to go away. I feel like I just made this video to direct you to that blog post pretty much, but I also just wanted to say like, I wish this was like my anxiety story, where I came on here and like said, have hope, you know, it gets better, but it's not. It's like, tell me, if you have anxiety, does it get better? Have you found something that works for you? Because I feel like I've had this now for almost 8 years, and I've tried everything. Like, I've tried meditation, yoga, I've even tried to exercise, which is not me. You know, I've tried tea, and I've tried like so many different things, just like eating better, and like, just, I've tried breathing and different exercises, and just like, some of it works and some of it helps, but nothing, there's no cure, not for me. So that is why in that blog post I did touch on like medication and like my opinions on it, and I feel like I'm just looking into different routes of like getting rid of this, because I'm starting to think it's not just emotional and it's not just mental, it's not something I'm like overthinking. I feel like it might be a chemical imbalance, and that's why medication might be an answer. You know, it might actually be something inside me that I can't control, like a health problem you can't control when you're sick. You know what I mean? It might be something like that, and maybe that's the answer for me. Maybe it's not for everyone. I don't know. I feel like this video makes absolutely no sense, but I don't want to have it go on forever. I feel like this video is already going to get really, really, really long. I just want to say, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm so crappy at this video, because I usually want to give people hope and tell them, like, it's okay, like, you can tell people you have anxiety and you can share it, but I can't tell you that because I don't always do that. Like, I know my friends and family know, and obviously you guys know, and anyone who read that blog post knows, but I still, when I feel anxious in the moment, I don't tell people, sorry, I can't go because I feel anxious. I tell them I'm sick, I don't feel well, I have cramps, and like, I'm not always lying, but I do fib about it because I don't think people get it. People don't understand when you say, I have anxiety. People think, oh, you're just being lazy, like you just don't want to come, and that isn't the case. Like, I want to go do things. I want to take on more responsibility. I love, like, as much as I don't think a 9-to-5 job is for me, I think maybe part of me just convinced myself that because I don't think I could handle it with my anxiety. And like, I'd love to be able to actually go get a 9-to-5 job and be normal, and like, I know I'm not supposed to compare myself to other people, but it's impossible not to. And like, just looking at my friends, knowing like, okay, 9-to-5 jobs are like normal. Like that's like what the world is about. And as much as I don't really get it and I don't like that, like why can't I just do that if I wanted to? Like if I wanted a 9-to-5 job, like I don't think I could do it. Ooh, something fell. And I feel like that's where my problem is like I don't necessarily want to travel around the world, but I'd like to have the option to. I'd like to be able to choose that if I wanted to, and that's what I don't have. I feel like I can't tell people that. Like it's not, even though more people talk about it and it's trendy or whatever, like it's still not accepted. Like if I told my boss or something like, oh listen, I can't do this today because I have anxiety, they'd be like, you're just flaky. And it sucks because I don't want to come across that way and I don't want to let people down. And like when you have anxiety, you feel like you have to lean on other people to a point lately. Anytime I go anywhere by myself, when I'm alone, I get anxious. Like it's not acceptable. Like that's not something that's okay. Like I have to be able to go and run errands on myself. I can't always be with someone 24 hours a day, and that's not okay. And like it's scary to think that that's something that's happening to me. And like I don't want to have to rely on other people 24/7, and like I know that's fine, like oh you have a support system, great, like I know I do, and I know I have people around me who care and like want to help, but you don't want to have to rely on people 24/7. You want to be able to be independent to a point, and I feel like I can't do that, and that's why I don't like having my anxiety, because I don't think people can rely on me. I want to be able to have a responsibility. I want people to be able to rely on me and count on me to do things for them, but I feel like I can never tell someone 100% yes I can hang out with you, or yes I can do this for you, because I'm afraid my anxiety will get in the way of that. And like it's just kind of a big rotating circle, and if you have anxiety like I do, you know that it's like anxiety for this trigger, like this thing's triggering your anxiety, and then because you know that, you don't do that thing, and then you're afraid you're gonna get anxiety, and like it's an anxiety of anxiety. Like I'm afraid of my anxiety, like I'm afraid of getting anxious, I'm afraid of having a panic attack. And like the thing is, every time I've ever had a panic attack or went through a horrible like feeling of anxiety or like intense panic, I've been fine. Like I've never like it feels terrible, and you swear that you need to call 911 and go to the hospital, and you think you're having a heart attack or stroke or something really, really terrible is happening, but from the outside you look fine. No one even knows that that's how you're feeling. And that's what's so crazy about it, is like as much as I panic and in so much fear in these situations, I've never gotten hurt. I have nothing rational, nothing that should rationally be scaring me has ever happened. I've always been fine. I've always come back home and been fine. And like that's what I tell myself in those moments, like listen, you're gonna go home later and you're gonna be like, what the hell, why did I have to go through that? Because I'm fine now. And that's what makes me crazy, and that's what pisses me off, and that's what makes it so hard to talk about, because it doesn't make sense. It literally makes absolutely no sense. Like it makes me so angry, and that's how I've gotten to the point of like acceptance. And I went through, you know, feeling guilty and being what's wrong with me and confused and all these different things I went through, and now at this point I'm just fed up. Like I have had this for so long, I'm so fed up and sick of it that's why I'm kind of making this video, to almost ask for help rather than give it like I try to in most of my videos. Like ask you guys, like what did you do? Like did meditation help you? Because I feel like all of that is bogus for me. Like I know people swear by that stuff, and that's great, you know, and if any of those things worked for you, then wonderful. I'm so happy, and I'm jealous, like so jealous that you have overcome this, and I'm so jealous of people who don't have anxiety and people who just live their lives and don't have to wonder every time they leave the house, okay, this is gonna be a tough day because you have anxiety. Like I'm so jealous of those people, and I'm happy for those who have overcome their anxiety, but I'm not one of those people yet. So I feel bitter and I feel angry, and I just want to get rid of it, and I just want it to go away. And I know that's not how it works, but I just can't deal with it anymore. Like it's been so long, and I can't feel like I'm stuck. I feel like the last 3 or 4 years of my life I haven't done anything. I haven't changed. Like my personality I may have changed my looks, but I feel like I really haven't changed. Like my life is still in the same place. I'm doing the same things. I'm not growing, and I'm not moving on with my life. I feel like I'm stuck right in like a limbo area of my life where like I'm not a teenager, and I'm not in college, and I'm not waiting for my life to start. My life is here. I need to get somewhere and move, like do something with my life, and I feel like I'm stuck. And that sucks, because they tell you like anxiety is about the future. You're worried about the future, you're worried about the past when you've had anxiety before, and like you're supposed to be living in the moment, but that's what I can't do. Like I want to so badly just live in the moment and just like experience the day as it comes, and like just experience every moment individually, like how it's happening right now. And I can't, because I'm always so worried about things that are irrational, worried about things I cannot control, and that's so stupid. Like I've read so many quotes that are just like, if you're worried about the things you can control, don't worry about them because you can control them. And if you're worried about the things you can't control, don't worry about them because you can't control them. But it doesn't, like, that makes so much sense to me, but apparently my anxiety doesn't click with that. And that's what pisses me off. Is like, I want so badly to not be worrying and to just live my life and like move forward, but I can't. Like, it's just like something stopping me. It's like there's like a little demon inside my body like saying, no, sorry, you can't do anything you want to do because you're gonna be feeling anxious. Like, it's so annoying and it makes me so angry. This is probably so crappy and made no sense, and I don't even know if anyone's gonna watch this. Don't even know if I'm gonna post it. But please go read that blog post. Like, I'm begging you. Like, I think that if you don't have anxiety and you watch these videos to understand it, or you know someone in your life who does have it and you want to understand it and they just can't express it to you, it makes sense that they can't, because they can probably not express it or explain it to themselves. So please read that blog post. I feel like it's something that is really going to help people understand anxiety, understand what I go through, and probably what a lot of other people with anxiety go through. So if you don't have anxiety, I think it's a great thing to read. If you do, it's a great thing to read. I think you might feel a lot, like, very related to, like, with a lot of feelings I was expressing in that, and like how I described it and stuff. So I really would appreciate it. Feel free to comment on that or comment here, anything, like, you know, if you have tips, if you've dealt with the same situation or things like that. Like, I didn't want to go in here into so much detail about my personal history with it, but that's all in that blog post. I mean, there's so much in there, it could be a book. It's very long, like I said, but grab a snack and read it, please. I would really appreciate it. I wrote that for people to read it. I did write it for myself to just get all those feelings out, but I feel like that could really help a lot of people. Like, more than any of my anxiety videos ever. I think that blog post is just like, when I finished it, I was like, wow, I don't think I have anything else to add. So yeah, again, please go read it. I will link it in the top line of the description box. You could also just go to my blog here and find it there. I thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave any comments you want. Recommend other people to watch this, and send that blog post to anyone you know who has anxiety, or if you have anxiety and you want people to get it more, you know, be like, oh, hey, you should read this, and like, I think you might kind of get what I'm going through. I know it sounds dumb, but like, I think it could really help a lot. I hope it does anyway. And yeah, thank you so much for watching again. Please subscribe if you want to see more from me. I don't just do depressing videos like this. I do funner stuff, I promise. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.